Welcome Internet, welcome YouTube. This is MD Reese with another Comics RX. I'm here to diagnose the problems I see in comics and prescribe solutions. Of course, in my last video I just had great things to say about The Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman, because that title is amazing so far. Liam Sharp, don't let me down, man. Which actually ties into what I really want to talk about today, which is expectations. So, how many times have you guys started something you thought was going to be amazing and then decided that it sucked because it didn't continue to live up to your expectations, right? Like Star Wars or, other things. I can't think of another example other than Star Wars and the comic I want to talk about today. So, hey kids, how many of you guys read Starman by James Robinson? Right? Anybody? You are there? No. Nope. No, not seen the movie with Bridges. That's not what I'm talking about. Just sit down. Okay, so when James Robinson was writing Starman, he had his first 5 issues as kind of one story. I mean, the whole thing's one big story. It's an 81 page epic. 81 issue epic, I should say, plus annuals and other. Doesn't matter. For the first 5 issues, he had one story to tell. And my battery is about to die, so I'm going to have to fumble and maybe try to cut something out. When James Robinson was writing Starman, he had the first, I think, 5 issues that were the lead-in story, the way that Jack becomes Starman. And I'm not going to tell you anything about it because you need to see it. With one exception. At the end of the story, they key into several events that are going to be formative in the whole course of the story. Robinson wrote Starman with the end in mind. It was intended to be a contained story. But when you finish those first 5 issues and you see all the key-ins, you got excited about what was coming up, because you could see all these little things from the reveal of Mikael Thomas to the rise of Jack to the heroism to the coming of Shazam and Sandman and how those things tied together. It was great stuff. Great stuff. And it left me, as a reader, as a kid in his late teens, super excited. I gotta say late teens because I did not jump on the train in '94 when they first started releasing Starman. I didn't think I was ready for that kind of thing, and I was busy reading Batman, and I was reading The Flash. Mark Waid was awesome back then on the Flash stuff, Max Mercury, the coming of Impulse. Oh, such good stuff was going on. And it's not happening anymore with old Waid. Anyway, when I started reading Sandman when I was 18 or so, and picking up the back issues and catching up to it, because it was just rocking. It rocked my mind. Got a bunch of the floppies when I could find them and got trades when I couldn't, and it was just great stuff. But I had this map to begin with that was just awesome. It was a setup and then a map, and it made me just excited for it. So I had my expectations fulfilled. And there was some rough stuff, and the art in the middle was not as good as the art in the beginning. For some of it, Tony Harris's stuff, this first of it was so good. And when he had to leave the book, it was not the same after that, especially Space Odyssey. But still good stuff. I haven't talked today about a book that did not follow up with its expectations. All right. So here we got Doctor Strange, Damnation. Right? Now, if you have a copy of this book, it might not look like this. I got it about a month and a half ago. I live in a small rural town in western Nebraska. Well, it's a small rural city. We have, several thousand people, but we do not have a regular comic shop. Although our game store just started getting regular issues in, so we're going to see how that works. We're going to order some stuff from them. Maybe I'll have to give a shout out to them when that happens. Anyway, Doctor Strange, Damnation, right? Some good stuff. I thought, and this issue is actually quite good, right? Now, growing up, I was not a Doctor Strange fan, right? first I was raised in a fairly conservative household in the 80s, which meant that we were kind of scared of witchcraft. And so a lot of that stuff, even fantasy witchcraft, was a little hairy, a little strange to deal with. So I couldn't really dig into it. But even then, Doctor Strange, whenever he'd show up in Captain America, Avengers, Spider-Man, whatever, he's always so dour and so serious, right? And I know the dour I need with Batman, I don't need much more than that. And Batman was my guy, So I didn't need a super serious magician. But I really respect the character for his place in the universe. And honestly, I saw this cover and I thought, what the hell, I'll give it a shot, right? Because this is one of the alternate covers and it is quite fancy looking. Just look at that, right? Anyway, I'm very, very pleased with that cover. And I saw the Doctor Strange movie from a couple years ago. Cumberbatch plays it a little looser. Definitely a little cockier, a little more hungry to learn than I had seen Strange in the past. And so I thought, well, we'll give this a shot, And I know that Doctor Strange for a while, I don't really know all the details. He hadn't been the Sorcerer Supreme for a spell, and he was back to it again, and all that stuff. And so there you have it. But so I was excited to see him back in the role, and I wanted to see where it went from there. So I bought this comic, and at first I was a little weird about it. So it picks up. I got to show this first page here. So picks up right in the climax of the whole Hydra Cap incident and the destruction of Las Vegas, right? And so the Avengers B list, right? So you've got Lady Thor, and you've got Captain Marvel, you've got the Falcon, and you've got weak-armed Hawkeye, who were there to show their respects to all the dead in Las Vegas in this terrible tragedy, and millions dead. It sucks, right? So then Doctor Strange shows up, and he's a Sorcerer Supreme again, and he just does his magic shindig, and in some awesome art, which I will show this page here, especially this panel at the bottom, there's some killer lighting effects, and Strange raises the entire, using magic, raises the entire city of Los Angeles from the grave, from its destruction, and rebuilds this new utopia with it. And it all seems really good. And he's super happy, and everybody's super happy, and the Avengers are like, wait, hey, dude, magic comes with a price, right? And he's like, well, yeah, but isn't the price worth paying for the sake of all these people who come back from the dead? And nobody can argue with him until, Mephisto shows up, and all of a sudden, it turns out that Sin City went to hell, and now when they brought Sin City back, it brings back Mephisto and the great big tower there. See, look at that, the Inferno Hotel, right? And Mephisto sits down with Doctor Strange and says, hey man, what are we going to do about all this? And I'm liking it here. And Doctor Strange, they try to negotiate back and forth in this whole deal with the devil situation. And they set up a card game, right? And whoever wins gets to stick around, right? Because here's the ticket. As long as Mephisto is there, people giving into their vices, into their sins, they start experiencing hell immediately, right? It seems like kind of a clever premise. And the series title, like Damnation, I thought, okay, that's kind of fun. And let's kind of see how this plays out. This Doctor Strange was not the Doctor Strange I'd read before. He was kind of a cocky, kind of a brash, a little bit of a twinge of a sense of humor on him. He seemed a little stupid, not seeing immediately where this was going, raising Sin City back up from the dead, from the underworld. Seemed like he should have seen that coming, but let it slide, right? For the sake of the fun interchange. And there's a lot of fun interchange there. And here's where the story ends, right? And the story ends, there's this deal with the devil, and the Doctor Strange has got to figure out if he's going to be able to beat Mephisto at a card game, right? And, the house always wins. That's the play on that, right? Well, elsewhere, Wong gets a sense that we've got problems, and so he knows that Stephen Strange is in trouble, so he's got to get some help. And so we have this thing, right? This team that he's going to have to assemble. Got Blade and Moon Knight and the Brother Voodoo and the Man-Thing and a Monster Hunter I'm not familiar with, Iron Fist and Ghost Rider, right? And so here you have what's coming up, right? Just similar to Starman, right? You see what's coming up. And I'm like, that's awesome. That sounds great, right? So I put this on my pull list. I call my shop up in Denver, the collection guys down in Denver, Cheyenne. The collection guys in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I say, I'm going to be there in 3 weeks. I want number 2. And they say, sure, we'll pull it for you. No biggie. So I get down there my birthday weekend, because that's what I did for my birthday weekend. Got some comics. And I picked it up. Right here. Here you go. Look at that. Little puppy. And you've also got Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, one of my favorite characters from the 90s. I freaking loved that guy. They screwed him over, did him wrong. Someday I'll probably rant about that, but not today. And I thought, this looks fun. This looks really fun. So I open it up. And here we have the setup, in case you missed it, of the last issue. Stephen Strange raises it back. Devil comes with it. He makes a deal with the devil to play cards. And one detail not in the previous issue. Right here at the bottom. Can you see that? It says, I cheated. Right? And it says he cheated in his card game with the devil. But that's not mentioned in the previous issue. I was so confused, I went back and read this to make sure I wasn't wrong. I'm not wrong. This comic's still really good. Not great, but good. Really fun. This starts not in the same place as the other one. And then, as if that's not confusing enough, the second page here of this, these are all events that didn't happen in the first issue. Right? So the bottom half of the first page and the top half of the second page are an entire issue's worth of events. He gets caught cheating. Lady Thor becomes the enforcer as they are trying to beat the payment out of him for cheating because you don't screw the devil in his deals. This is a whole comic's worth of events, right? And so then the next 20 pages of this comic are all just Wong enlisting the other soldiers from the previous page. It's entirely that. It's just conversations saying, come help me. Oh, I don't know if I should do that. Why are we all here? That's it. That's it. There's nothing exciting that happens. There's some fun shots during the gathering together of them, but nothing substantive happens in the entire story. Right? Not only is it a number 3 level story, where it should be the third story, because the whole story of implications in the first 2 pages, there's a whole issue of implications in the first 2 pages. So not only does it feel like a third issue of a miniseries, it's a third issue that doesn't go anywhere. Now, I'm going to pick up the real issue 3, because I want to see where it goes, if it goes anywhere. Because you've got such good setup in the first issue. But I'm telling you, this, so far, sucks. I can't remember I know it has not been the worst, but I cannot remember the last time I was this disappointed with a comic in a miniseries. I just can't. I mean, back to the Robin 3 Cry of the Huntress. When the art got weird in issue 4, I was like, there is something wrong with this art, but I still like the story. But the art was so jarringly different from the first 3 issues that I took it back and I was like, whoa, that's weird. This doesn't even make sense. It's awful. Oh, Nick Spencer? Right there? Cap Hydra guy? What the hell, man? This was great. Not great. This was good. This was solid. This was fun. What happened? I'm calling the diagnosis lost the plot. You don't go from nonstop action and psychological weight to what the hell do we do next? It's not like they're just lost. It's not like the heroes end up in a place where they just like, oh, what do we do next? It's like the plot itself just like tied itself into a knot and stayed there. It's like when you're fishing and you go to throw the cast out, but it's a knot and it gets caught on the reel and the line doesn't go out. It just swings around and flies back. That's what that was. You lost the plot, Spencer and Cates. You lost it. Maybe you can get it back. It ends on a fun cliffhanger, this second issue, but not enough to make up for 20 pages of jawing. So, well, that's it. That's what I got going on today there. So, once again, if you liked this vid, like, share, comment. I guess you could subscribe. There's only a few up there, so if you have ideas, suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. If you want to check out other things I've written or done, they will be on the About page. So I'm not going to plug everything here because that'd be weird. Anyway, happy reading. Hope you guys enjoy it all, and thanks for listening.